And good afternoon, this is KC9VKV. Just a heads up here. You notice the date 1/8/21. Well, in our recording, we had an erroneous date of 1/8/20. Hangover from last year, I guess. We didn't change our board correctly. So this is actually 1/8/21, this recording. Thank you so much, KC9VKV. Clip.
Whiskey 3, Foxtrot, Romeo Golf. Southeast corner of Pennsylvania and Media. Over.
Yes, sir. And what's the name there?
Yes, sir. And what's the name there? Oh, sorry. Tom, Texas, Ontario, Mexico. Tom. We're running a Flex 6600 to an RF homebrew. Over.
Okay, Tom, I just moved over from my Milford PA SDR to my local, and you were about 20 over on my local, so come back and give me about 10 on your antenna system.
My antenna system is a super loop. It's an all-band, multi-band, always vertical, a polarized antenna, and it's up about 70 feet, and it's fed with coax and a balun. Over.
Roger, roger. Okay, now what we want to do is go ahead with our setup procedure. If you would be interested, it starts again with our compressor engaged at a 3. Roger.
I'm using a Flex 6600, and the compression, we do not have a compression. It's strictly do not use per the manual.
Okay, then adjust your ALC from mid-scale to 2/3. I don't understand why that is, sir. Why would you not use a fattening process?
We are using compression. We are using the EQ, but there is no compression control on the radio. It's strictly per the manual. It's there, but it's not set up to do anything.
Strange. Okay. Anyway, past that, that's you will not be able probably to achieve a 3 dB dynamic range without that particular item, but we'll do the best we can. I would suggest moving now to your ALC with mic gain in hand and adjust your ALC for mid-scale to 2/3 operation.
Well, you're not going to believe this either. We don't use ALC.
How do you set up your modulation?
We use the modulation gain as a meter. It's 0, 10, -20, -30, -40, and they want to keep the audio peaking at around -10 and not exceeding that.
Roger. Well, sir, you've you've hit the jackpot. You are set up. How about EQ? Do you have EQ on board?
Yes, I do. I have it's an 8-band EQ, and the settings are minus 63 kilohertz, 125 kilohertz, 250, 500, 1, 2, 4, and 8 kilohertz.
Roger. Well, close enough. I think you've got it there, sir.
Okay, well, the settings I have are -3, -3, +2, +3, and the rest are all +10. And we're using a Audio-Technica AT1300 microphone.
Roger. Sounds good. I would, 8-band EQ takes a little while to set up, and just my personal preference on EQs, I always leave the mid-range EQs flat, so it makes it easier to strike balance between the top to the mid-range and the bottom to the mid-range. So I would say, from 500 cycles to 1.5K, I would usually put those flat, so the top and bottom can achieve balance easier.
I appreciate that. Very good. I'm sorry about the ALC and the compression, but the radio just doesn't have it.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm looking at your signal, and you're right now running about 3 dB dynamic range. I'm not sure exactly how you're getting there, but you are, and that is 80 to 85%. So it's a fairly fat signal, Roger.
We're running about 3.4.
Roger. Well, I'm not talking about necessarily the excursions. I'm talking about the dynamic range ballistically of the audio itself. In other words, an unprocessed transmission will usually be about 10 dB in velocity from the weakest to the strongest. And what we want to do for broadcast is move that 10 dB to about 3 dB in that, so it's fattening. Not necessarily talking about the excursions as far as bandpass, but in the audio realm. Roger.
Roger Dodger, Carl. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for your help, and Happy New Year, and we'll continue on here. 73 W3FRG.
Roger, Tom, 73 that way, sir. Thanks for dropping by. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. In the meantime, in between time, if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube, do the call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 1/8/20. That will take you directly to this recording. So 73 for now, and we'll catch you later. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.